Okay guys, so in today's video we'll be trying out the Anna Griffin Clever Sliding Card dies, but with our own papers. So last time, I mean, we did have to supply some papers, the outer pocket, but the inner ones I had chosen to use the Anna Griffin scene cards, right, for specifically for these dies. And I mean, you have tons in here. It's 30 of each, so basically this will make 30 cards, right? You need the smaller, layer and then the background piece. So we're going to do our own thing. And actually, let me look at these images. But as I'm going through this, if it's still available, I'll go ahead and link it there in the description box for you guys. That means I will make a small commission for your purchase. I am still those links. And again, with you, I was say, I don't know what I was going to say, USA or something with YouTube and HSN. It might be embedded in the video here. But again, at the top of the description, possibly right under the title. Here they are using cards that aren't in this kit. So I don't know if you can see, this is just like some of the paper, like the 12 papers, which I actually have. They're very old. Or like a card base or a card front that they cut down. You know, you can do that too. So this also looks like the Anna Griffin 12 papers, maybe something from, what's that one set called? I can't think of it. Anyway, yeah, I think all the examples they have here are actually done without using the cards. So you can have some idea. For me, what I was thinking is something that already has like a little bit of a sentiment on it, or just something that's cute that transitions from one image to another that are kind of related, right? So like you can see this one, you have the butterfly to the flowers. And that's kind of what I was thinking about this whole weekend, because I wanted to get this done since Friday, but I wasn't able to pop back in the craft room. So, and these guys, again, some of these are just like the card bases for like other kinds of cards, or the kirigami dies, things like that, right? You can think about using those possibly. So basically I was going to use just something from something else completely. So I'm going to put this to the side. I already chose a few colors. I grabbed this because I used this the other day and I think it's really pretty. So I think this will be the outside, which is very basic. You know, you can use a pattern paper, of course, but I think I'm just gonna go with this pink pearlescent paper, some really, really old Crafter Companion stuff I had from like literally probably 10 years ago. Easily. So that's that. And then, ooh, maybe I have more accents. I am running out of it now since I've been trying to use it up recently. I was gonna say maybe I can get this little pull tab from that, but then it would coordinate too much, wouldn't it? Okay, so we don't have to do that. I recently reviewed this stuff here from Spellbinders of Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Flower Shop, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I use some of these. And what I like about this is that it does have cards in here already. I just put the rest of the things I had for review. So we can decorate with all these things, of course. I don't have a lot of the ephemera from this, but that would be really cute. I was kind of thinking about that. I'm like, oh, maybe I should decorate the top and the bottom of the window with like flowers, but honestly, I don't have any. In my mind, I thought I had more ephemera. Okay, maybe I can find something else that coordinates from something else. But you know, these guys, I was like, maybe we can cut down, especially the ones that are the larger ones. I mean, there's tags in this set. Where are these big guys? So think, you know, card fronts, or recycling a card that you've received, or that, you know, you have card kits or something that might have something nice that you can cut down. Again, these dies are a little bit bigger. This one is a little bit less than 5 inches wide, and then 5 and something tall. So that's the one that goes in the front. So it's a little guy. Yeah, it's 5 3/4 by a little bit less than 5. And then this guy in the last video I showed you guys is like 6 3/4, again by 4 3/4, like this one. You're gonna need something that starts off bigger than that, right? So you can cut it down. I did find the sheets, and then I moved on and talked about something else. Okay, this guy. I was thinking about using these, but these are too small. You know, like I would need the whole width of it to really make it work. And it's possible maybe you don't, but I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is go through this. Actually, we do have stickers here, but there's stickers. Maybe we'll make that work to help us kind of decorate a little bit. Like these guys, you know. So just look at all your papers and think about like, what can I do with this? And then I was thinking about stamping that big smile, that big word smile, or like even this area is very cute, right? I mean, I know it's going to be a waste of this paper to just cut that, but especially since the other side has the other side of the spread. But that's how I'm going to look at these papers. So I'm going to check, like look at it. Obviously, did we talk about the back of the papers last time? I hope we did. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to choose 2 papers that I would like to work with. You know, and maybe we'll do some stamping to make it work. So I need at least 2 different something, patterns, images. Can you imagine doing some foiling? Maybe it has a sentiment, and then that can be the one that, you know, one of the panels. That'd be really lovely, because you want basically very flat things. I think if you're going to stick stickers to this and then run it through, maybe the pressure of this will help you, you know, push those stickers down onto your paper. But what if after a while of, you know, trying to open and close it, it starts peeling or starts picking up on an edge? That's kind of why I would keep it very flat. But foiling, stamping are all very good. Better pressing, you know. Okay, so let me look through this and see what it is that I would like to use. I don't want to mess with these tags. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, and to have a little more fun with this one, on top of using our own papers, I think I'm going to make it open sideways, like a pull tab sideways. That'd be fun. Let's see. Okay, so for the very front, I'm going to use this one. So it doesn't say anything, but it's just a pretty little scene like this. It's cute. I will say, with these guys, the way I'm planning this, because again, it kind of does make my brain hurt. I'm looking at it sideways like this. So it's sideways and sideways. Okay, so the little guy, the top layer, right? What they call the top layer, you're going to look at it this way. So that extra bit that doesn't cut anything is to your left here. And so, you know, as I'm looking at that, I'm just going to put this down here. On my last video, somebody had said that you should just center the die on those panels, the card panels. And yes and no, because some of this is not going to be visible under the pocket. So a lot of times I have to explain myself, I know. So you see all this area down here? You're not going to see it. This is all tucked behind the thing. So you can imagine if I just took a panel and centered it, it's going to end up down here or wherever, you know what I'm saying, in a place where it's not visible. So I judged it looking at it the way I would want that area to be in this area. So if this whole thing isn't visible, then if I centered it, it's not going to look right. So it wasn't as simple as just centering it. You can do that. Maybe part of your sentiment's going to be covered or something weird. I would put it on here the way you want to see it. So I know none of this is going to be visible. So if I were to just like center it on the thing, that's not going to work, guys. So for me, I'm eyeballing this area really. And then of course making sure you have enough area left and right to, you know, get the die on there. So this is fine, especially since this doesn't have anything, you know, wording or anything. I don't care. But I do want you to think about that. And you can also look at this and you can see this whole top part right here is not going to be seen. Well, actually, when you pull tab it, it will be visible. So you don't want to. I was thinking about layering up one of those 4x6, you know, cutaways on top of a piece of cardstock and then cutting it. But again, that's like a sticker being on the thing and it might end up peeling just to give it that sturdiness that we need, right? The background piece, like the whole size. I don't think it would work. So you can try it, but I wasn't willing to do that. So as you're looking at this, just keep that in mind, right? This whole bottom part is not going to be visible when it's inside the pocket, see? Hopefully you can see that. This whole area is not visible and it won't be visible. The only part that's going to end up being visible is this very top part of the bottom card. But anyway, so that's how I eyeballed it. I'm sorry, I just want to take a little sidestep there to talk about why I did what I did. One more thing before we get right to it. I just remembered I'm wearing a bracelet that says "Kiss Me." When my husband and I went out yesterday to get Miranda some things for her little leprechaun trap. Today is St. Patrick's Day, and her little friends are always exchanging stuff, and we saw these bracelets. Oh, that's so cute. So we were looking at them like stackable bracelets. They can each get one, you know. And of course it says "Kiss Me." My husband's like, "Kiss me." He's like, I don't know if I like that one. And so I can take that one out of the pack. I gave him to Miranda this morning. She's like, "Kiss me." That's the first one she says. I'm like, yeah, it's like, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." It's just something people say. I said, anyway, I said, "We'll just take it out." She's like, "Yeah, I don't like that." I'm like, okay. So now I'm wearing a bracelet that says "Kiss me" for no reason. Let me show you something she did with her little leprechaun trap, though, because it's very cute. I'll be right back. It's so hard to see. So she made a leprechaun trap at school, and usually the teachers keep it there, and then in the morning they'll put like little footprints everywhere, and they leave like a chocolate for the kids, like a little dime. But she's in 5th grade, so, you know, they made the leprechaun traps, and they let them bring them home. So this is her little trap. She put like a little staircase, or, you know, what's funny about the little ladder or stairs is that she glued it on the very edge with just glue, and it stayed on. I'm like, okay. So that's her little trap, and then... So what I did this morning is, did I already do it in there? No. I opened it up. I took out the little coins. She had plastic coins in there. And then I put chocolate nuggets because I couldn't find chocolate coins because I went yesterday to find this stuff. And I'm like, oh, it was like 8:30 at night. And I drew little leprechaun feet going all the way inside the little trap. So again, I put the little Hershey nuggets there. And yes, my daughter is 10. She's in 5th grade, but she still loves this kind of thing. So there it is. And then on the outside, I colored a rainbow on the stairs because she wanted to do that initially, but then since she didn't, she was like, oh, I thought, oh, that'd be cute. Like the little guy showed up and it's magical, you know. So I put the little rainbows on there and the little feet, like he crawled in there. And put it back outside where she had it to begin with all night. And she was really excited about it this morning. So there she is. Really good. With a little trap. Super happy. And then later we're in the truck. She's like, Mom, did you do that? I was like, of course I did, Miranda. She's so cute. The other day I told her, I was like, when she had the trap, I was like, well, anyway, I don't know, you know, maybe leprechauns aren't real. She's like, I know I didn't just build a trap for you to tell me that leprechauns aren't real. And I was like, okay, it's whatever you want. But she is getting older, and so some of these things we kind of have to talk about because, you know. Anyway, all right. Bottom layer, and I'm cutting it like this because I want that to be visible just in this area, and that's great. Top layer. We already said that we're going to cut this one out. No problem. Just run it through. I'll link the first video too if you have any questions about that. Now this guy, this whole area is going to be at the top of your card, or actually on the side of the card when I'm pulling it out, because this is the pull tab area, if you can just imagine. So again, you're not going to see this, well, once you pull it out. So for me, I'm going to see where do I want this, and I kind of wanted those pink guys showing up. Some of this is also going to be buried, you know, so where you're not going to be able to see too much of it, just a little bit. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, you know, this is the best I can do with this paper because it's on the edge. So either way, even if I wanted to move it over a little bit, I really can't. So I'm just going to put it right to the edge because I do want quite a bit of those butterflies to show. I'm going to stamp this before I run it through because also you don't want to stamp it afterwards because then you have like little, you know, grooves and nicks where the paper was cut. I'm just going to cut it. Sorry, guys. On the back side, I have this whitewash, which is really pretty. On the back side, the other one are cut aparts, which is always a bummer, but that's okay. Okay. This one will be the tricky one because I already cut my paper, so I really need to get that smile like right here, and hopefully it's the size of that. If not, I'll find another stamp or something else somewhere. Yeah, it's not too big. Okay, so we got to really pay attention to that. I'm going to use a stamp positioner for that. And then we're just going to put it together. That part was a little persnickety when you have to actually put some of these things, put the card inside the other one, but you have to stick it down. Somebody had mentioned Anna did it differently when she presented, but of course the instructions say something, and then I did something else. So whatever you find easiest for you, you know, do that. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is cool because I am using a stamp positioner, and so I'll have an idea of like if this is here, and I want to stamp smile like right here-ish. Right? It'd be cute. Maybe a little bit lower. Okay. And since I have a stamp positioner, I can come in here and go boop. And that's perfect. Let's get rid of this. And, oh my goodness. I love VersaFine, but it's going to take a minute to dry. Oh well. Let's go for it. It's just nice and thick and just so good, but she's a little naughty and I don't want to heat set it, even though I have my heat setting powder right here. That's all right. Okay. I already used this before and it's still sticky. Look at that. I mean, just crisp and beautiful. I love it. So let's let that dry just a little bit. I'll clean up and we'll get to putting this guy together. I'll go ahead and run through the other guys though before I do this, just to let that have a chance to dry a little bit more. So, again, I'm going to run this guy through. And I will tape it a little bit because, you know, it's going to move a little bit possibly when you put it in whatever machine you use. And then the big guy, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I used tangerine again today. Got a little accent pull tab cut because obviously we're going to need that in just a moment. I don't know if I'm going to use the other accent frame pieces, so I didn't cut those out. Big guy. Put that somewhere else. And then this guy, hopefully it's dry. If not, we're going to make a little smudgy mess. Okay, so again, I gave myself like no wiggle room because that's just how I am. Okay, that looks good right there, I think. it's really down in this. Yeah. So that's kind of what these windows are here for, I would think, to help guide you. Because basically this stuff doesn't show until it pulls up. But anyway, let's just put that like right there. That's fine. And I will put a little tape. Because again, it might shift around on us a little bit. Okay, I'll run that through and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going with a lot of blue. I probably should have gone with something that had a little more pink or purple in it just to bring in some other colors, but it looks like my eye was really attracted to those blue ones. That is fine. Let's put these things to the side. And I know I made this a couple days ago, but still, we want to refresh our memory here. Okay, so we don't need this one quite yet. Oh, you know, that's interesting. I was thinking about this. I'm like, how are you going to cut, if you want a frame around this, you know, something that's going to actually frame this out very well, but you can definitely take something like this. Remember we cut this the other day and I didn't use it. Center it in here. I know it might be hard to tell where center is, but I would probably look at the top there, the bottom here, right? And then run it through because it's not going to cut the edges and it will cut the hole for you. And then run this through, right? So put some tape. Hope that makes sense to you guys. And then run it through and then you're going to have a framed out piece where this section will be popped out the center and you can put it on the top of your card, right? Put it on here. I was like, we can measure and just cut it out, or maybe you have a die that's that shape or whatever, but I think that's the best way to do it. So yeah, if you want to put a frame on here, so you can imagine this is cut out of here. Sorry guys. And you put it on top of here, you're going to have a frame that has the perfect hole cut out. Okay. So yeah, I would just take whatever piece of, you know, my cardstock. If you want to die cut it first, this is a cut and emboss, but die cut it first, put it on here, let that run through so then you get the frame out, and then put it through an embossing folder is how I would do it, because a lot of times if it's already embossed and you run it through, it smashes it, you know, a little bit, but you'll still have the texture. So yeah, something to think about. I mean, even this oval one would work, right? Pop that on there, boom, and then you have a little frame that already is ready to go. Okay, if you want to decorate it with a frame. One more thing about that. Let me see if there's an image on here that shows you something like, yeah, like here, it's a different die they used, obviously, to cut this out, but you can imagine that the frame would be right along there, right? Do they not have any more images on this one? I guess not. That's weird. Okay. I don't know where the other instructions are. So, okay. Main piece, we have these guys. This guy goes in the back, the bigger piece, and then this guy kind of layers up on top of that one. And it's something like this. So that extra bit, again, we're orienting it portrait, landscape mode, sorry. Last time it was a portrait, right, like this. We're going to do it this way. But either way, that thickness and that thickness, they're opposite each other, right? Okay, I'm still going to work with it this way, though, because that would just be easy, right? So this is our bottom and our top. And it says to just... Okay, guys, sorry for the rough edit. I started calling the bottom the top, and I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay, so they consider this the top layer because it's the outermost one that's going to be touching this, right? The big guy's the bottom layer. So we have them oriented this way, that big space, you know, the other space over here. We're going to turn these guys over. Excuse me. And then the top layer, which is now at the bottom, needs to go into the bottom layer slits. So just these guys, just tuck them in. The top one goes in the top one. The next one goes next. And that part's a little bit gangly, but you can also just, you know, get it going. You can also just get it going. Well, of course you can. But what I'm saying is it depends on your cardstock too. This is a little bit thinner cardstock. It's not like construction weight. So once I'm here, I'm just going to kind of get these guys one at a time. And they fit in pretty easily. Basically, that's it. Remember this, what they're calling the bottom layer, this big guy, doesn't have any little slit, like floppy ones like the top layer does, okay? So that's it. And you're just kind of lined up. You have this weird little set here, all right? And essentially, if you want to work it right now, you could, but you have to be very careful. But it could, yeah, you just need something to hold down. But you can imagine, see, there you go. The word smile is going to show up, okay? So we have it like this, or like this, however you want to look at it right now, because basically all this is going to be the same. I could work with it in portrait mode if that makes it easier so you can follow along with your instructions. I'm going to grab our card base. I'm going to go ahead and score it. Somebody had said that, like I said, that Anna did it differently than what this instructions showed, that she stuck this onto that base first and then stuck this top part down. I think is what they said. We can try that. Let me see if I can make sense of it. So the instructions say to put glue around these very edges and stick this obviously to the front of your card, flush at the bottom. Okay, so side to side, but flush at the bottom. Okay, and then you're supposed to come in and then kind of finagle this in between the two layers. So this other person said that Anna did it here first, stuck this down first, is what it sounds like, which is also tricky, guys, in my opinion. You know what? I wouldn't do that because you're not sticking this down. You're putting the glue on the back of this part. And at that time, it doesn't matter if it sticks to this front part. So I guess I can understand what they're saying. You stick it there, stick it under here. I don't know. Do you think that's easier? And then bring this flap down. We can try it. You're not gluing this, okay? You don't want that stuck down. And I always put this at the end, so that part is going to stay the same for me right now. Basically, what they're saying is to go ahead and put the glue. And I use wet glue, so that's another thing you gotta keep in mind. I like a wet glue. If you want to use a liner tape, that's up to you. But this is just another way of doing it. So I'm putting the glue all over. It's gonna hold the card together too, and this top part, because this top part's essentially gonna get stuck down anyway. So you're gonna really want to pay attention to how this is layered in here. Right, so it's not crooked, hopefully, all the way down to the base. Okay, so again, between the two layers, you're not putting any glue on this. This guy's just resting on the back. So we're gonna bring this guy down, stick that down, and I have it flush at the bottom. So essentially this is sticking to the top layer, the back of the top layer. I don't know if I like that better, guys. I feel like that's a little bit tricky, but it's something. Okay, so there's that, especially because I'm getting glue on my fingers now. But okay, so let's pretend. And then you're also gonna put glue at the very edge of this guy. I'll frame it out on the very top of this. And I'm putting it at the very edge because I'm scared, but also I know this bottom part's not going to be a problem, but the very edges, obviously this other piece needs to move up and down. So here you can probably put a little extra glue. Okay, and I'm putting more on the side because that side is exposed and I know it's starting to dry, so I'm going to put the glue there. Now, do you guys think that's easier or harder? I don't know. It's not my favorite, and also look how it lined up. It didn't quite line up where I want it. I mean, I can probably open this up and rearrange it, but just keep that in mind. I think the way I showed in the first video is better. Okay. On the instructions, she says to flip over your card, put glue here, flip the card back over, and then tuck it in. And I'm like, you don't have to do any of that. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just fold it, put the glue. You're essentially here. Don't turn it over. Just score the lines. Close it up, right, with the glue. But you still have to stick the glue in between those two layers, guys. That's the part that's a little bit tricky. Yeah, I don't know. That bothers me. I was planning on covering that up. I thought maybe it was some kind of die cut or something that kind of goes into here anyway. But yeah, not my favorite. Okay, let me hold that down with something because I'm not going to sit here and hold this. I really want to make sure this is set up. You also want to make sure you didn't glue this down, which I don't think we did. Okay, perfect. So let me put some weight on this and I'll be back in just a few minutes. And in that time, I'll think like in my brain, what is it that I want to do to decorate the outside of the thing? Like I said, I was thinking about just putting die cuts and stuff, but I don't have a ton of die cuts and most of them are sticky like stickers. So that's not great, but we can work around that too. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys. So we have some good ideas here. Okay, so again, with this guy, I kind of eyeballed this to make sure it needs to be flush down here. Right? If it sticks out like that, this is 5x7. You can imagine it'd be hard to get into your envelopes. So just kind of bring it down. I have an idea of where that needs to be. That's a little bit crooked, but you know. Okay, maybe more this way. And then I'm trying to hold it shut so when I get this, I can also grab the paper, kind of pinching it a little bit. So hopefully it didn't move too much on me. And keep that open. Again, last time I put glue on this side, but it was gone by the time I went to use it, so that's okay. So I'm putting glue all over as much as I can. Hold that guy. Oh, yeah, so there's the smile. cute, right? But again, you saw how much it cut off. I will say when you pull it up, yeah, it only covers that last little, like, maybe a 1/4 inch of paper is down there. So just to give you an idea of when you go to frame it up, what you see in that frame, that's what you're going to see, okay? So that's kind of what I was looking at last time. And maybe I took longer to do it because it was the first time that I had used the set. So I wanted to make sure everything was cool. I would definitely put glue at the very base so it's not hitting this when you're pulling that in and out. I love that this is pretty on that back side of the paper. Okay. The frame idea, I'd love to do a frame. But since I talked about it so much and didn't do it, I don't want to do it now because I'm wasting your time. But yeah, so you can make it an easy frame. Let's pop that back in. And you guys, there you go. Smile, and then nothing. And you know what? This is sliding in and out nicer than the card I used over here because it kept getting stuck. Like even now, like I'll bring it out, and that's fine. Not every time, but it gets stuck sometimes on something that's back in there. This one was pretty good. Okay, so now all we're gonna do is decorate. I have these cute things. I have this stuff, and I was looking at this one. I thought, you know what? Actually, that might be really cute. Along this side, especially since I put that paper came up where it's not supposed to be. Maybe that'll distract from it. Look at this. I'll bring it in just a little bit, even though it's a sticker. And I think it kind of distracts from that. So there's that. Cute. Okay. All right. I would put this together the way I showed you guys in the first video. Again, because you don't really know where you're going to be with this once you line that up. Okay, so we have that. I mean, I have all these other ones. Funny enough, I had this one still sitting here from when I made an Anna Griffin card the other day. It doesn't go with this, but that'd be cute, right? I mean, mix and match your stuff, guys. These are very real looking and they're, you know, lilies. This one has like daffodils and cute things. Oh, look at the little bucket. But again, I would kind of want it to stick out over here. And like I said, we work around that. So for me, the workaround is, oh, that's so cute. Is really, really touching this a lot or hitting it with your, you can probably rub off that stickiness to be honest, or hitting it with your embossing buddy or with a little baby powder, a little cornstarch. I know you guys probably have lots of ideas of how you can do that, but just get rid of that stickiness and make sure to put some fluff on there. This is gross. Oh yeah, that's good. It might get sticky again though, so that's kind of why I rubbed it with my fingers first. Get that stickiness off. And then maybe this little guy goes here, right? So it's not sticking down that area. Okay, it's still very flat. That's not my favorite. Simply beautiful. I mean, we can put these guys, butterfly. I have enamel dots, but you know, just trying to decorate it a little bit. That's cute. Just to give it a little dimension. Well, I kind of need something down here, in my opinion. Maybe another sticker. And then maybe we put this guy here. I don't know. I kind of like the way this guy looks there. Oh, we have butterfly stickers. Oh, so maybe a dimensional one and then another one. Let's see, guys. This is the part that's going to take me a minute because it always does. I have little hearts. I like the butterfly look down there, but that's all right. Let's see. Maybe this guy here and that guy. I don't know. I like the look of something wood chippy down there. Ay, ay, ay. Oh well, let's see. Ugh, this is so hard. This is the hardest part for me, guys. Okay, let's just put that there. And again, we have, you know, these little guys and other things, but maybe that's enough. Okay. So there we go. Cute. All right. And then you have this whole backside on this if you want to put a little MacLeod or just write on it. And maybe that's where your sentiment goes. Well, your sentiment, but your message, you know, be very cute. Something to think about. All right, guys. Well, I hope that gave you some idea of how to use maybe your own papers, how you want to look at the sceneries. It doesn't have to be sentiments and sentiments or one that makes sense with the other one or, you know what I'm saying, as far as like wishing you a and then the happy birthday or whatever part. So just have fun with it. I mean, this is really, really cute. Honestly, like I said, I feel like it works better than the other one. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I will have images coming up. I'll have links. If they're Spellbinders links, they're definitely going to be in the description box. If they are HSN links, they might be embedded in the video, but also in the description box. And I will see you all at the next one. All right, bye now.